'Cause I'm free falling. It's Adam, Trump Nation, and I have this. Just got this from Dan Friedman, who has a great email list, which you can find if you want to subscribe. It's top copy at mindspring.com. He adds this is an article from marketwatch.com, which he introduces. I always love his introductions. Wouldn't bet the hacienda on this, but it is surely worth a few bucks. By the way, hacienda is not racist. Hacienda is a Mexican term, and Rubio is Cuban. The rhinos and the rest of the panically Republican establishment have placed their wagers on the wrong horse. Now it really becomes interesting. Who can the Beltway crowd pull out of their hat next? Who won't pull the rug out from under them again? I'm loving it. Hope you are too. DF Dan Friedman. Okay, this is the article from Brett Ahrens. I will insert commentary where appropriate. It can be found at marketwatch.com. It's called Opinion Marco Rubio Goes into Freefall Among Those Betting on the New Hampshire Primary. Chris Christie's attack somehow turned the Florida senator into Marco Robato. Another 80s songs I could have sang, though actually Free Falling I think was from the 90s. And the subheading is Marco Rubio's perceived chance of becoming the eventual Republican nominee has plummeted by 17 percentage points to 37%. Bedford, New Hampshire, it won't show up in the polls before the New Hampshire primary Tuesday, but if the sports betting market is any guide, Florida Senator Marco Rubio is suddenly in a lot of trouble. Rubio has been in free fall on the sports markets since his debacle in Saturday's Republican presidential debate, where he got owned by New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. As an illustration on the sports betting exchange Predictit, Rubio's perceived chance of winning the New Hampshire primary has collapsed in 2 days from 27% to 8%, and his perceived chance of becoming the eventual nominee has plummeted by 17 percentage points to 37. Let me just put in a pitch for one of my other videos earlier today. I had one where I was talking about who the favorites of for the next season in the NFL are to win the Super Bowl, and there's a tie. I think it was at 8-1. Seattle, New England, and Pittsburgh, but I'd have to say Seattle's the favorite because some of those odds are because New England and Pittsburgh have such a big fan base, which Seattle does not. So probably, when that's corrected for, Seahawks are the favorite to win Super Bowl 51. Anyhow, and his perceived chance on becoming the eventual nominee has plummeted by 17 percentage points to 37%. How sports markets work, blah, blah, blah. The onshore betting markets are small. Ladbrokes, the London bookmaker, cut Rubio's chances of winning New Hampshire more modestly from 27% to 20%. And it still rates him no worse than evens. In theory, 50% for the nomination. And just some disclaimers. And the author writes, on Sunday I went to 2 Rubio events in New Hampshire. Both were packed. Rubio himself spoke pretty well. He was short on specifics. But he didn't sound like the Marco Robato of his critics. I'd like to know from the author, did he have a teleprompter? There's a difference between memorizing speech and being able to be spontaneous, which is how Christie challenged him. Finally, the last 2 paragraphs here are the third and second to last paragraphs are relevant here. Who benefits from a Rubio meltdown if it happens? The conventional wisdom, says former Florida Governor Jeb Bush or current Ohio Governor John Kasich, would pick up his supporters, but actually Rubio, belying his, quote, establishment label, is from the party's right wing. Rush Limbaugh likes him, with reservations, but that's likes him, not loves him. Ann Coulter criticizes his stance on abortion as too right wing, not that anyone really takes Ann Coulter that seriously. And half of his New Hampshire supporters told Suffolk University pollsters last week that their second choice would be ultra-conservative Texas Senator Ted Cruz. No, come on, enough with the ultra-conservative. He's conservative. I'm ultra-conservative. Cruz already won Iowa and will probably do well when the race moves south. New Hampshire was supposed to be an away fixture for him, but in the polls he was already in second or third place. They're at around 15% even before the debate. My editorializing, Rubio's not winning New Hampshire. He's a lightweight, and the establishment shows how useless it is in putting so much stake in him. All right, this is Adam at Trump Nation.